Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. PSR is excited to present to you Last Call, featuring your boy, the Pimp Slap P.O.D., Mike M.
Pimpin' ain't easy, but it's fun like money. Got bookies on the run, now it's time to get money. Not your typical way to ball. It's last call like some convicts waiting on the next draw. You can feel the tension. Did I mention? Fools better pay attention, cause we getting paid like a pension. T's on the ones and twos, we not the ones that lose. Mike, money's killers, Mike even make the evening news.
And now, let's get to the picks.
We be pumping! Fox Sports Radio, you know we be pumping!
What up, and welcome. Here we go. It's Last Call, Friday, February 16th. What a week we've had here. First couple of days post the Super Bowl. Lots of milestones we've crossed here. Valentine's Day is out of the way. You know what the next big show is here. It's all about March Madness and getting ready for this college basketball tournament. So excited here. We've got the All-Star break at the NBA. Couldn't have come at a better time for me personally. Yesterday, I got it right in the old bottom mouth, but we're going to run it back today. We had a great hockey day. Again, we've been firing in the NHL, and college basketball has been doing well for us as well. Tonight's card, a little different here. We've got ourselves one NHL game here. We've got a nice college basketball showcase in front of us here, a smaller card, but not devoid of opportunities to get that cash. We're going to get into the first ever Last Call virtual horse race for the gold members. We've been talking about it enough. We might as well get in there. I see our guy, Jose, Three Fingers Bouquet, is in the chat, says he's here for the horses. And then we're going to jump off here Fridays. You guys know what we do. We bring on our MMA guru. MMA Jeff's going to talk to us about 3 plays in a parlay he's got to get us paid with the UFC tomorrow night. So we have an action-packed show. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys know the deal. It's Friday, and we bring back our Friday resident here. He had a little hiatus. He's a busy man, but he is ready to rock with us tonight. Only one hockey game, but he is a college basketball guy as well, and he's ready to rock here. You guys know him, and you love him. It's Mr. Ghoster making his Friday appearance here on Last Call at Pub Sports Radio. So going to be a lot of fun here. We got a little kind of a flush the format Friday, if you will, with no NBA and adding the horse races. But it's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to get into it with everybody and see who's going to come home $50 richer to start their weekend here. You guys know the deal. We're going to get into this thing. You're just rocking here. The first thing we ask you to do is hit that thumbs up button. Want to help crack the code and show the market we're here. Pub Sports Radio ain't going nowhere. We're growing member by member, day by day, winner by winner, and dollar by dollar. So hit that like button, throw the thumbs up out there and show the support. You like the content, you're making cash with us. You don't like the content, that's fine too, but just hit the thumbs up out there. It helps us a ton. 2, you guys know the deal. We ask you, grab a pen and paper. Lots of great plays here, not just from myself on screen and our panel and our guest, but the chat is sharper and sharper by the day. Can't wait to go through what you guys have laid out there for us. You're going to want to write those plays down. And of course, last but not least, throw your plays in the chat there, especially when we're dealing with a smaller card. Want to see what you guys have your eyes focused on here. We're all working in concert to do the same thing. Take that money from the bookies and put it in our pocket. So, of course, we want to recognize you guys with the plays you have out there in the chat. And we'll do our best to get it going here. Appreciate everybody dropping in and rocking with us here. We're just about to launch. We see Joe T in the chat says, hey, Mike M, what's up? Let's get that cash. 2-0 on best bets. My guy, Joe T, is firing. And he's got one again for us tonight here. He's got that Harvard Cornell under 160.5 and the Yale Penn game over 138. A little bit of Ivy League there, a little bit of the book nerds on a Friday. You know they're going to be ready to roll, and our guy Joe T has given us that opportunity to get that cash. The Futon Bets says he likes the Arizona Coyotes game over 6. Appreciate you sharing those. Futon Bets. Nunya's in the house. Patrick Burns giving us his best bet. Likes North Florida money line at plus 145 and the over 146. Fairfield Niagara game to go under 145.5. Likes that VCU game as well. Am I missing that up there? I might have missed it up there. I did miss it up there. He likes the Niagara over 146 and the under 145.5 in VCU. There's my homie Wine Time, my brother from another mother. Good to see you guys. Thanks for dropping in. Happy Friday to everybody. Subhuman Gaucho's here. Tori Coker says got $175 in his account trying to get a nice 3-team parlay, 1 underdog. Let's go, my guy. Like to see that there. Looking to go for the fences here. Got to go deep to get this cash and build that bankroll for your weekend. Real Deal Prime, let's go. Good to see you, my guy. Cameron's in the chat, says, snowed it, time to get it. Let's go. Dana Delps here. We already talked about Three Fingers. Steak Bet Bouquet's in the house. It's always great to see him drop in here. You guys love him. We all love our guy, Jose Bouquet there. Appreciate him dropping in. And there's Keith says, what up, Mike M? Love that logo you have at the end of the cool intro, bro. Gets better and better, man. That's my guy T holding it down on the ones and twos, man. You reach out, you have a little conversation, and then he executes. It's just, you know what? That's what it's all about, is execution, getting it done. It's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to put it in play, and my man does not mess around with that. Kent Davies, I'm triple dipping on the Cornell game, boys. His first half, full game and the team total over. That's what you got to do when there's a smaller card. You got to dig deep. Jay Peasy, he's in the house. You don't know. Jay Peasy wrote the intro, my guy. Appreciate you dropping and hanging out with us. Can't wait to get rolling. Says Tori Coker, says, Mike, you're a big Philadelphia fan. Where's Nick's jersey? He helped win the Super Bowl. Man, how much time are we in? We're not in far enough, Tori Coker, for me to tell you what I think about Big D Nick Foles there. But we'll keep rolling here. Perky Bump says, Mike, the best early Friday play inside the big early. Oh, yeah. We did get that soccer play, a little both teams to score. Drop that over with my guy Sean Higgs on midday money. Cashed it in 56 minutes. That's the way you want to get it done out there. And Perky likes the Marist play. Marist is a 50%. I'm going big on Marist. Our guy Perky Bumps. Kent Davies likes Queens -1.5. Can't wait to go. JPZ says Harvard is not good. That's right. They are not good. They're probably decent in hockey, I would say, but they're not good at anything else, JPZ. Subhuman Gaucho. Kent Davies likes that New Mexico, San Diego State under 152.5. We will talk about that. Christopher Comentini's out there. Appreciate all you guys dropping in, rocking with us. Jay Smooth. Now we're ready. Now we're talking here. The smooth balls, you know you got to keep them smooth with our guy, Jay Smooth. Give us the smooth balls play of the day. Likes that Princeton team total under 77.5. Ian Shaber's in the house. Says, what up, you donks? King Clips in the house. Mikey, I'm loving the pimp slap POD neon behind you, brother. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That was a little Xmas present from my bro and his wife. And boy, it was a pain in the ass getting it on the wall, but we got it there. Appreciate you noticing, my guy. Con Clip says he's on that. I'm on Team Powell at +110 and Rising Star. Clearly, oh, I see what. Okay, I got you. I was looking at it like, what is there? Some Mexican cockfighting I didn't know about that we're betting on here? But no, I got it, my guy, with those plays. We'll put that right up there in the chat so everybody can see it on screen out there. And of course, T with the old reminder says, make sure to be a gold member for a chance in the horse racing, guys. We've talked about it before. You already know what's going on here. We got this gold membership. Show your support, show your love. We don't ask you to pay for plays, but show your support by being a member out there. And you get some perks behind it as well. You know, Jose and Jimmy the Bag, we're hosting the members only circuit contest entry for PSR. We've got discounts in the merch store, getting yourself some swag, get yourself some pub rub, all that good stuff that's out there in the store. And then, of course, we got this $50 Wednesdays and Fridays, your chance to become a little bit richer there. Maybe it's a nice little dinner. Albeit the way dinners are getting expensive now, it's probably a dinner at McDonald's for two. And that's okay because everybody likes a quarter pounder with cheese. Let's go. Coin says, what up, Mike, in chat? Let's have a Friday. Got some Marist over 135.5 in Coin's pocket. Good to see North Ender out here. Kong's Clip says, did I miss betting with the bag today? He did not. Jimmy the Bag is under the weather. He's got the flu. Not just under the weather. That guy's a trooper, but it's the outright flu. And if you had the flu, you know exactly how that goes. So shout out to Jimmy the Bag. Hope he gets better soon. He's got a nice little weekend to rest and recover. And then I'm sure he'll be back Tuesday with Peter Loshak and the gang there getting it done. Andrew B likes the Canes in regulation. Let's go. Ian Shaver says at North Ender that North Texas was sweet. Let's go. Good to see you guys cash. And Kong's Clips has a lacrosse play of the day. I mean, who knew there was that many of them that there's a lacrosse play of the day? Likes that Boston Cannons -2.5. I'm going to write it down. There's so few plays going on today that I got to take a look at some Boston Cannons action at -2.5, my guy. Let's go. Can't wait to get rolling with you guys here. We're about ready. Swizz is in the house. Andrew B says Queens, North Carolina over Jacksonville. That's what it seems to be the consensus out there. I think Queens is probably the better team in that matchup as well. JP says, you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France? The Royale with cheese. Is that the answer? And is it because of the metric system? Let's go. Can't wait to get going with you guys here. Listen, you guys know the word here. Ricky Bobby, good to see you as well. we got to start with the transparency here. We got to be 100. Give you guys a quick recap here. We had a long playlist yesterday. We went 8-5 on the day, and we're going to go through it real quick here and let you guys know exactly what happened. Listen, not very often I put the hands in the air, but I'm going to put them in the air. That Seattle spot there yesterday, the Kraken at plus 164 against them Boston Bruins, never in doubt. That's the way we want to cash those ones. We got that Rangers minus 1.5. They put the thump down on them. Les Habitants there, our boy Gokster's probably I want to say it's his second favorite team. We'll ask him when he gets on the screen out there. Tampa Bay got the job done. Shout out all you guys in the chat. We're on that one as well. Glad I added Dallas -1 because the Dallas under 6.5 did not cash. Dallas put up 9 goals on their own. The -1 did cash. We didn't get our parlay with Calgary and Kadri over 3.5 shots on goal. Who knew the Sharks were going to come out there and smack them with rip their arms off their bodies and smack them with their own arms? It was crazy. The parlay didn't cash, but we did get Towson -7.5. Interesting note. We'll talk about it tonight as well. Double-digit road favorite coming in off a home dog. That's a double-digit loser. Cashed with us in that Towson spot, and we have it in play again tonight. We're going to get in there. We added East Carolina. We cashed that one. That Arc State game under 154 by the hook, I believe. I think it was a point. I think we had a full point in our back pocket on that one. And then we added Portland State with CMAC there. Portland State plus 2.5. Talked about them needing that game. They needed it, and they got it. If it wasn't for the NBA, we would have had ourselves a glorious day. Milwaukee minus 13.5, blown out. Outright lost. And that's fine because my general philosophy is cover or get fucked. And if you're not going to cover a minus 13.5, then you got to lose that game outright. So I'll at least check that box. And then the Portland Trailblazers plus 10 just got routed. So that's how you go 8-5. Still a productive day. Still gained a couple of units on the day. We're moving forward, sheltering the storm here as we look for a big Friday. And let's get into this Friday. I know our boys backstage ready to go back here on Friday under the bright lights of Last Call. You know him, you love him. He's been busy whacking away this golf card here. He gets involved on Tuesdays and with our boy Jimmy the Bag on Thursdays. We're fortunate to have him here at Last Call. Welcome in, Mr. Gokster.
What up, man? How you doing today? Good to see you guys this evening. I got the bright lights here, so their teeth are a little wetter than I thought. But anyways, good to be here with you guys. One hockey game. I do a little college basketball with you guys tonight, so it should be fun. Looking forward to it. And Nunya's on North Florida. I got to play on that game there, Nunya, so we'll get to that one soon.
Love it, love it, love it. First, we'll jump into the NHL. I know our boy Gokster here has been firing away at the hockey rink here, and love to have somebody come on and talk a little NHL here. We're going to chop it up here as we lace the skates up and take it to the ice. Can't wait to talk about this one here. Albeit it's only, we had a glorious card yesterday. What a lot of fun. Calgary losing to San Jose and that Vancouver and the underspots were some good late night money for me. But here we are today. I wish the scheduling gods would do a little better job for us than just giving us one 9 p.m. game here. But 9 p.m. Eastern, the Carolina Hurricanes going out to the desert, Gokster. They're going out there to face them Arizona Coyotes.
5,000 people. Might as well play in Belleville.
They might as well play on the pond outside. I mean, they probably get more people than that. The benefit that these boys have, though, is it's a college town. They get to go to a college rink. Them hockey boys are going to get themselves fired up, probably get themselves fueled up with a couple of cocktails while they're at it. But let's talk about this one. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this game here. And from what I could see, I don't think it's been confirmed, but is it Kochetkov in goal at 13-9-3 going against the Meltdown 6-12?
I don't know, man. I've been trying to find that out because, probably too, they got Vegas guys tomorrow at Vegas. So, a bit of a kind of a bad spot for Carolina, just looking at the schedule spot. And there's two ways to look at it, I think, Mikey. Do you want to have your best goalie go against Vegas, or do you want them going against teams you want to guarantee your kind of win, like Arizona, and then they got Chicago? So really, you're going to want to kind of see it, even though it's Last Call, the game's not till 9. So they're kind of holding their cards pretty tight here, it looks like, the Hurricanes. So we'll see.
Yeah, I couldn't get the read on it. I mean, I was just looking at, kind of what's going on as far as the game is concerned. And, again, because it's 9:00, they still got several hours to go before they lock it in. But kind of an interesting spot there. I would think Carolina wants to give some rest. I mean, I know we're speculating this thing here, but I would imagine, to your point, yeah, you got the big game coming up tomorrow. That's the potential Stanley Cup showdown. I think Carolina, in my opinion, is one of 3 teams that I have futures on to win the Stanley Cup. I started the season off with New Jersey and New York. Thought things were going to go pretty well, and then both teams kind of hit a slump, but we're starting to rebound. And then at the All-Star break, I added 12-1 spot with Carolina. So what do you think about this game? Take it to us. Talk to us about how this thing's going to break down.
Well, man, like Carolina guys, they're doing this with their third goalie too, right, Mikey? Like Anderson, he's been nowhere. Ranta, you can't keep him on the ice. So now they got Kochekov, and I think the other guy they have here was slipped my mind, but he's an AHLer. He's a fourth goalie. So if you see the fourth goalie going tonight for Carolina, I'd be a little shaky taking Carolina, especially at this number. Some stats I got for you guys though, just right away. Arizona's lost 7 in a row, so they're going to be wanting to chomp at the bit. And a lot of those have been on the road too, Mikey. Their next game's not going to be till Sunday against Colorado, and then they got Edmonton. So this is a big game for them. Some tough spots coming up. But if you look at them in the first period, Arizona scored 5 of the last 6, Mike, in the first period. They just didn't score the last game out when I had them first period both teams to score. But I think they're going to come back to that. Well, whenever a team hasn't won, in 7 games, they're showing they can score. They're coming out hot. They're just not able to they're not getting the goaltending too, because Ingram, if you guys didn't know, Connor Ingram, who's really been carrying the weight, right, Mike? He's out. So they're going to be going with Vejmelka, and for the most part, he's a backup goalie. He's never really been able to prove himself, in my opinion. There, yeah. Kong's just saying Vejmelka, yeah, fade that MFer. I don't blame you there. Yeah, his numbers 4-5, 0-3 since the break, 883 save percentage. So if you look at the numbers too, I got a lot of numbers for you guys. Carolina's a slow starting team on the road there, Mike. 24th goals for in the first, and then in the second and third, they're 13th. So they start scoring more as the game goes on. And then they're 22nd in goals allowed in the first period, and then it goes from ninth to third. So they're a team that's really good at closing the door on teams, where the other side here, it's the opposite. They're 9th in the first period for Arizona in the league of scoring, then 13th, then 29th. So that completely falls off. So if you one play, I can't give out now because it hasn't started, but if you see Arizona guys up, say into the second period, especially by 1 goal, I would take a stab at Carolina, depending on what the number is. You could probably get a nice plus number, but just looking at just what they've been doing, Carolina can come back. I'm not going to take Arizona first period, even though I think that's live. I'm going to take the both teams to score there, Mikey. First period at plus 160 I have here. So, I think it's plus 140. Sorry, it is there. Plus 140, guys. Just with these goalies here too. Arizona is very live. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually get this win here. The look ahead is very real in hockey too. So let's go with both teams to score first period. And I wouldn't talk anyone off Arizona, brother.
Oh, I mean, those are things that you just don't want to hear when you're laying the lumber with a Carolina spot here. But okay. I could get down with that first period situation there. I definitely could see this being, especially with the way these goaltenders are looking to start things off. And we've seen Arizona, you mentioned it, you nailed it on the head with scoring goals here. I got to fall back on the old Friday spot here, though. I think 2 things are going for the favor of Carolina in this one. Vejmelka, had to come in that relief effort there because of Ingram. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. The tread's off Ingram's tires. It fell off in December, and they gave him that little rest where I think he had an 8-game break or something like that, where he had to kind of get rested and recharged. And they threw him back in, and they just ran him again because of the lack of depth that they have there. And when you got your guy at 6-12 as the backup, you're not picking up W's with this guy in there. And anyhow, I think when it comes to that, the headspace gets a little confused because he was expecting to sit on the bench. He had to go in. I've talked about this before. Relief goaltenders, a lot of people think, the goalie, the backup's in there, unload on the other team. That's not the case. If we only see these guys letting in 1 goal, and no difference here with Vejmelka, comes in relief. He saves 12 of 13 shots out there. But Arizona's on a 7-game losing streak. And not a lot of meat on the bone with this one when it comes down to trying to find trends and digging in deep. But I found one for everybody, and it has to focus on this total of 6. Home teams on a Friday with a total of 6 are 7-14 in those spots. There's not a lot of meat on that bone, but I felt like, hey, minus 1.5. You guys know I'm not going to lay odds and juice at the same time. And here's a plus 120 spot that I thought, if this team's going to get the job done, I kind of was leaning to the overall game being under when I originally looked at this thing, but because of these goaltenders now, I don't want any part of that. I want to see some goals. I want to see some scoring, and preferably I see it from the Carolina side of things. So Look, I love that first period. Look, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to lay the puck line with this Carolina spot, and it'll be interesting to text back and forth with Gokster and see how the night prevails there. Bo Jackson, like Seth Jarvis, over 2.5 shots on goal. And shout out to our guy, Ian Shaver, gifted a membership. Homie, it's great to see you out here helping us grow the community one dono at a time here, giving us his time, giving us his best looks, and giving some of that loot up.
And if you're a gold member, you're in luck tonight, right? You get a $50 chance to win $50, guys. We're going to have the nice horse virtual going on. So, yeah.
Good stuff, our guy, Ian Shaver. And Vin Z says, thoughts on Clayton Keller goal at plus 210?
I'm looking that up. I'm looking that up right now. I wouldn't mind that. Now, I just want to go back to the goalies here quickly. He was pulled twice, actually, Ingram, too. Back against Vegas there when they were at home against Vegas. They allowed 3 in the first. He came in. Mike, he shut him out. They didn't allow another goal, and then same thing with the Minnesota. So I'm kind of, I think they're live in the first period. I'm a little bit nervous of my both team to score. The reason why I'm taking it though is just because Carolina's completely healthy. Like with those 4 lines, at any point in time they can turn it around. I get why you're taking that puck line. It's just whenever you have a team. 7 losses, the desperation is there, and offensively they're not missing like key guys there, Mike. Like they got Jersey still in there. They got a lot of their mainstays. They're a young team too. Friday night only game. That's another thing too. Why I took first period both teams to score. I think it's going to be rocking there, that barn. They know it's the only game too going on tonight, Mike. So it should be rocking. But as the game goes on, we'll see if they can get the dub. Won't be easy. So let's root on that first period, fellas, and get that puck line home for our guy Mike.
Let's go. We'll look to get both of us cashing on that thing. I looked at Martin. How do you say his last name? Is it Nekus? Martin Nekus?
Martin Natchez.
Yeah, anytime goal scorer for this guy. He does like playing against Arizona. He's got 2 goals in the last 2 games against Arizona. So he panned out at plus 195. Wouldn't be mad at that spot either, but I think we gave you guys quite a few ways to look at this game here. Despite it being the only game on the card, you've got plenty of time to fasten together some same game parlays. Some great looks in the chat with the shots props there and Jarvis, and we'll be excited to see how that game gets rolling there. Andrew G says Brindamore will have them ready to go. And there's Zoe. Zoe's the new member. Good to see Zoe in the house. Let's go, you guys. Ian Shaver says, mother was a mutter. Mother's mother was a mutter. You know he's ready for these horse races tonight, guys. It's going to be some fun. Let's move into college hoops. Let's get this card rolling here. And let's talk about this thing, guys, here. We've got ourselves a nice little showcase of games tonight. Albeit kind of stretched across the board. We do have the late night special there. We're rocking with the 10 p.m. San Diego State game to close the card out. But let's open her up here. We'll talk about opening, and then we'll get to the closing here, and then we'll jump into the ponies and get this virtual horse race going. First game on the card for us with this college basketball lineup tonight. We're going to go right down the old throughway from me, and frankly, right down the old QEW from Gokster maybe here. We're looking at this Niagara and Fairfield spot. And actually, I guess it's in Fairfield, but nonetheless, our Purple Eagles are probably a mutual meeting point for us here.
Either way, you're taking the QE dub 401 right to the border there, and then you're in Fairfield.
You're on your way one way or the other. We've got this game opened up at plus 6.5 to Niagara. Them Purple Eagles, home of the original Buffalo Wing. If you didn't know, now you know. 41% of the bets and 80% of the cash on Fairfield. The line's dropped a half a point. We've got 148.5s have moved down to 146.5. So we have 63% of the bets on the over, but 55% of the cash on the under, Gokster. Lay it on us. Tell us what you're thinking with this game.
Okay, guys, here we are, right behind the ears, doing a little college basketball breakdown. All right, Niagara, Fairfield. I don't like hearing that total. A bit of the heavier money's been on that under, but just looking at when I do my college basketball, I look at the 3 things. It's the offense, the defensive stats, and pace. But the pace is big when I'm doing totals here, guys. And both of these, the pace on both these teams, Mikey, I got 175, 142 out of 358. So they're going to be moving the ball pretty quick, getting a lot of possessions. Then defensive ranks here, 308 for Niagara and then 234 for Fairfield. So then offensively, we're going 146, 190. Some stats for Niagara, guys. They haven't lost on the road, Mike. They're actually like they've beaten St. Peter's, that is St. Mary's, Ryder, and Iona. Iona being their hardest opponents. and that was way back early on in the season. So they're going to have their hands full against Fairfield here. Fairfield, though, they haven't played anyone really strong since Quinnipiac, and they lost that game, beating Ryder, Manhattan, again, St. Pete's, and Marist. So just with the way these two styles are going to operate, I think both teams are going to get easily in the 70s. I think this will hit 150. So at 146.5, just both these teams, they're going to want to move the ball, and they're one of the stronger offenses in that conference too. So all in all, adds up to an over 146.5 minus 110.
Like it. I'm invested on the Niagara side of this one here. I love the motivation for Niagara. You know, you mentioned the Quinnipiac situation. I mean, they're the class in the conference here. They're 19-5. They're 11-2, and they've got a multi-game lead on, you know, Fairfield is the closest team to them here. But, you know, with that being said, Fairfield's 2 games out of first, and there's Niagara sitting in the weeds at 3 back. So 6.5 felt like it was too many points for me in this spot there. I love that you're talking about the pace and the tempo in this game, and I think that's where this does benefit the Niagara side for me, because they do like to have some fast break opportunities. And with 6.5 out there, we're seeing all that cash coming in on Fairfield. I got to go back to the basics here. You're dumping cash all over Fairfield, and you're getting the warm Vegas hug saying, what if we drop it a half a point? Do you like it again? Give me Niagara. Give Gokster the over. I've got the 6.5, and he's got the over 146.5 to open up college basketball action. Gokster's in the house. Who knew he was a multi-sport? Well, I already knew he was a golf capper, but side note here.
I love it, man. I college basketball, like just the more like 358 teams to cap, and low key basketball, you know, one of my favorite sports actually. I've just decided to go with the hockey path in life, just being up here in Canada. But no, love the basketball. And just to quickly here, yeah, these teams here, home road, 82, 78, 75 for Niagara, then 68 against St. Peter's. But then Fairfield, 84, 77, 76, 82, and then that 64 against Quinnipiac. But they're both these teams are going to get at least in the 70s, if not in the 80s, I think. So, yeah, love this one.
I wish I could answer this question. I know I've heard it umpteen times from Jimmy the Bag and crew there, but maybe if Jose's still in the chat, he can answer, or T as well. He said, Nunez says, do I have to be on the PC to buy the gold membership? I've been trying to find it. Honestly, I don't know how to answer that question. I wish I could. T, I'm not sure if you have any insight on that either, but Gokster, do you happen to know?
You just go just on their page, I believe. Their team might be able to speak a little better, but I think you just go on their page, guys, and then just scroll down a little bit. You'll see the money sign or the dollar sign. Then there's 2 different options. You click the gold, and then from there you should be able to sign up. Is that not how it is, T?
Yep, he's giving the thumbs up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just scroll down a little bit, guys. Look for the dollar sign, and you can do that from your iPhone, Apple, Android, whatever it may be.
We give you guys some time to get in there. We still got plenty of basketball to get into. Let's move on to game number 2. This is the A10. Man, it feels like the A10 has no rhyme or reason between when they're going to play games here. And they like to play games because the Richmond Spiders shit the bed when they're one of the best cover teams in the country. And we know, speaking of Richmond, VCU gave them boys fits here. We got VCU versus St. Louis. They're going on the road to St. Louis here. This line opened at 6.5. It's dropped down to 4.5 in some spots before we started seeing some buyback to 5s. 68% of the bets and 71% of the cash. Gokster on VCU. The total is where the movement is here. We've got reverse movement alert. It opened at 144.5, 145.5, and 146.5 now. 54% of the bets and 81% of the cash on this under, and yet we're moving in the opposite direction. Gokster, take it away, my guy.
Yeah, I know this St. Louis team, they love to score. Like they'll throw up points with the best of them. I've had a couple overs on them this year, but VCU guys, they're lethal. We'll go over the stats here again quickly. I got offense, defense, pace, 298 pace for VCU, and then 34th defensively in college basketball. So they're going to want to just slow you right down. Like they're not going to want to allow you to do much. And what have they done on the road? They've had 5 games this year on the road. This is going to be the ranks, guys, for the opponents they've played. 214, 79, 115, 248, 97. They've won all those games except against Bonaventure, who's ranked 79th. Going over to St. Louis, 207th ranked team here. Yeah, they're at home, so they're going to be you're going to get their best effort. But defensively, 314th there. That's going to be the rank here defensively, St. Louis. So they're very susceptible for points, and then they're only ranked 119th offensively, Mikey. So they're going to have their hands full with this defense. And then on the other side, VCU's 128 offensively. They'll be able to do what they want against the St. Louis's defense here. And then the pace, St. Louis is 101. They're going to want to move the ball, but I don't think VCU is going to allow them to do that. This team's only lost twice against George Washington and St. Bonaventure. They're just a wagon, this VCU team, and heavy under team. And I think that's what they're going to do here. So just quickly, though, one of my bets here, guys, I got VCU team total over 74.5. The reason I took that, just looking at St. Louis, they allowed 73 to UMass. They allowed 84 to UMass, 84 to Davidson, 88 to St. Joe's. And then Fordham, they allowed 65, but they're 214th ranked. They're not that good. So I think 74.5 team total VCU might be one of my best ones on the card there. It's -117 just based on what St. Louis has allowed in this game. And then VCU, I'm doubling down, guys, -4.5, -112. I think VCU get this one done. It's an important. I don't see them kind of slipping up on this game here, Mikey. And they play UMass on the 20th, so I expect them to get this done.
Gotcha. Guys, listen, so I see the question there with Nunny in the chat. When you're on the YouTube site, click on more. You got to X out of the chat. Click on more.
I can help real quick.
Once you click on more, you'll see the comments where it breaks down. It says, we're excited to bring everyone to favorite Pimp Slap. There you go.
So you go to the main page next to the subscribe. You hit join. And then right here, you're going to have the option to PSR Gold member.
Welcome to the Pub Members Club.
Welcome to the Pub Members Club.
And you just hit join right here.
The Pub Members Club.
Welcome to the Pub Members Club.
All right. Everybody got it?
That's it, guys. Just hit that join button. Yeah, it's right beside subscribe, and then you'll see the options. So, yeah, right there for you. Hit the old join button. But, I love this. Love VCU. What do you think about this one, Mikey? Do you think VCU's got a shot or what?
I do. I think VCU is a good opportunity there. I see our guy, the sit down with Jeff Nadeau out there talking about the under in this game as a whole. But I feel like these numbers have dropped enough, from the 6.5. 6.5, I'm Billy Brisbane conditioned here to think 6 might as well be 8. They got to get almost double digits to win this game. But when we're down to 4.5, 2 possessions and a foul shot gets the job done. So I definitely lean to VCU in that spot. I just haven't officially pulled the trigger on it. But I like the team total spot that you're dropping in there. I just think St. Louis has been one of those teams that's, they're 9-15 in the conference. Pretty minus that win that they had against LaSalle there. They suck. Yeah. They're just not a good team. 84-73 to UMass. We know UMass is straight ass. They lost to what is that? Chicago.
Loyola Chicago.
Yep, 70. Yeah. Sister Mary and the crew beat them up 77-62 as a 9.5 point. They're laying big numbers. The big thing for St. Louis here is they're coming off that Joe's win there, or that Joe's loss where they were 10.5. They were looking pretty solid in that game across the way, but St. Joe's isn't really. I'm a Philly guy. I know St. Joe's. I know of the program and what they're capable of, but they're not a consistent team at a win one, lose one. So anyhow, I think all that puts together that I like VCU in this spot there. I was originally kind of dismissive of VCU, but the coach changed there and the coach brought that key player with him. I thought, they're going to have to rebuild this thing and get it rolling. But when I saw what they did against Richmond, that's kind of when I became a believer. Not to overreact, but then since then they've done nothing but really, perform and be a stable, consistent team. So 4.5 with this number coming down seems like it's starting to get around the right price. But let's
I agree. Just quickly, that under, Mikey, it feels it's going to be live here. The VCU guys, number one defense, I want to say in this conference, maybe next to Dayton. But then what did they do? They beat Dayton 49-47. They didn't even hit 100 points. So St. Louis, I kind of agree with Nadeau. The under kind of does feel like it could be live here. St. Louis is not going to be able to move the ball.
Well, let's roll on. This next game was one that I was kind of breaking down a little bit or sharing some excitement about early in this game. We cashed on it yesterday. We're going to roll right back to the model here. We've got Villanova and Georgetown rocking out here, -9.5. We have 69% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the Villanova spot. It's moved to 10.5. So we have movement in the direction. We've got the total more or less kind of a frozen line, I guess, depending on where you're looking here. There's some 139s and there's some 140s. So it opened at 139.5. It's kind of right in the middle. 50% of the bets and 61% of the cash on the over. And, big thing for me with Villanova, I love the way Villanova, the number one free throw team in the country. It's not, you can't just say like, hey, I love the way they go out there and draw fouls and throw the free throw out there. What I like about this team is they're kind of a wild man with throwing their threes out there. I said this a couple weeks ago. The way that they throw the threes out there, it seemed like they had the wrong guys getting it done for a while. They were trying to adjust to the system. We know obviously it's the post Jay Wright era now, but coach on the hot seat, he's got to go out there and get the job done. And they've been able to find some victories as of late here. You kind of look back at it, Seton Hall was a big one for him because Seton Hall, I thought Seton Hall was one of the class of the conference here, and they handled them 80-54. Granted, it was on their home court. They had some trouble with Xavier, but Xavier's kind of been one of those back and forth teams. We've been fortunate to cash with them. They whooped the shit out of Providence. They lose to Marquette in a tight game there, but it's kind of like they're part of that upper class instead of that wedge that's between the haves and have-nots in this conference here. And look, the big number for me in this spot is that double-digit situation. The double-digit road favorite. The team that's coming in off a double-digit win on the road as a favorite, going against the home dog that lost his double digits, now has won 12 games in a row, 28-4-1 in that model over the last 33 games, winning 12 in a row. We cashed on it last night with Towson. Wasn't the easiest cash out there, but once that second half came into play, they just lit it up and never looked back. So we're going to ride back with it again tonight. We're going with them Wildcats in Villanova, Gokester. What do you think?
Let's go. Yeah, they kicked Seton Hall's ass last time, so I don't see why they can't do it to Georgetown. I like it.
The Georgetown. I mean, it's a big number, but it's a big number for a reason. Unfortunately, it's moved to 10.5. But that just kind of endorses that. This kind of encourages the buy. Let's go down the speaking of the throughway and just crossing the border and getting on the turnpike here. Let's go to the mat. We've got ourselves an Ohio-Toledo battle here. We've moved to 9:00 Eastern. Ohio opens up as a 5.5 road dog, and marginal movement. Kind of one of those things where you can find some sixes. And then there's a lot of 5.5s out there. 55% of the bets, 59% of the cash on this Ohio side of things. The total opens at 159.5. We have 69% of the bets, 67% of the cash on the over, and it's moving in that direction. So we're kind of seeing, coordinated or alignment between the cash and the total. And then as far as the side is concerned, there's kind of a split between 5.5s and 6, Gokester. I know this one's on the card. Lay it on us. Tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah, guys, I think this Ohio team, they're a scrappy team here. Both of these clubs, they're similar, if you ask me. But the reason, here we go. This is the reason why I don't think Toledo, they're kind of smoke and mirrors. Who have they played at home? Western Michigan, Bowling Green, Buffalo, Ball State, Miami, Ohio. Not one of those teams are ranked from the stats I'm looking at above 235. What's Ohio? 168. This team's beat Ball State. They beat Kent State, ranked 185. And then I lost to Akron by 9 here back earlier on. And then they come off that bad loss against Arkansas State. Just got got out of hand there, 100-87. But this is their third game in a row for Ohio now. But on the other side, Toledo's coming home after three-game road trip. So I don't think Toledo's going to just run away with this game. Defensively, they're 266. Their pace is similar, 193-79. I kind of get why that total's moving to 160 now. I just think Ohio's going to stick in this game, guys, just based on kind of competition of the schedule. I don't think, like I said, Toledo, you beat up on really poor teams. So let's see how you do against an Ohio team that has proven themselves, I think, in this conference and is going to be able to score with them. So let's take Ohio, guys, +6, -110. And another stat, I remember this now, I didn't write it down. Ohio's a second half team from all the numbers I looked at. So the first half, I could expect them maybe to be down by a couple. That's fine. But the second half, they've been just against some good opponents too. They've been clawing back. So maybe even if you want to take them down, if they're down at the first half, I think this Ohio team is going to make it a game 2 halves. So
love it. We know the tales of 2 halves in basketball, and it's my bad. I missed one here. I know we kind of added it to the board late, so we don't have the graphic for it. But let's talk about it because I do like this spot as well. We've got North Florida and Kennesaw State. This is a 7 p.m. Eastern start. My bad that we're moving back on the board with this here, but this line opened at 2.5, and we've got -3.5 now for the home team in Kennesaw State. 44% of the bets, 66% of the cash on the Kennesaw side of things. And we've got a point that's moved in that direction. As far as the total is concerned here, 165.5 was the opening number. 65% of the bets, 76% of the cash on the under, and it's dropping. We've got it down to 163.5 now. So we've got about a 2-point movement. Gokester, I know it was one you wanted to add to the board. Tell us your thoughts on the game, and I've got myself a little spot on this one as well.
Yeah, I just think that looking at their numbers here, guys, North Florida, their pace is 221, but Kennesaw's fourth in pace. They're going to want to move the ball. And then defensively, they're both 319 and 321 ranked defensively. That's the biggest thing is whenever if I got defensive teams ranked in the 300s and I got pace from at least one team here, especially ranked fourth, it's going to lead to some overs. Then you're going to look at their offense. Well, offensively, 129 for North Florida and then 167 for Kennesaw. So it's going to be a back and forth battle. And then North Florida guys on the road, 93 against Queens, 91 against Austin Pay, 76 against Eastern Kentucky. They're a good team. Bellamar, whatever, I'm butchering their name. 71, Florida Gulf Coast, 78. And then the other side, 76, 95, 84, 78. And that's against teams that have much better defense than both of these teams that are going to be going head-to-head tonight. I understand why the total is moving down. It is pretty high at 163.5, but after capping this, guys, I think one of these teams are going to hit 90, and the other one's going to be in the 80s as well. So I just at this number 163.5, I wouldn't want to go any higher than probably 165, 166, but I got 163, guys, 163.5 minus 115, back and forth game. Just shoot.
Nice. I like that look on the total. I agree with you with the points perspective. And I was a little perplexed with this one because when I started with it, we took Kennesaw State the other day on Jimmy the Bag show there. We had them first half and full game. They were laying 4.5s, and they won by 5, right? So they comfortably got that first half done, and they cruise controlled after that. Well, not cruise control, but they got the job done. But we know they lost 6 in a row, right? They came into that game off of 6 in a row against Jacksonville, and they snuck it in there 66-61. The flip side of things with North Florida, we had North Florida. We took North Florida coming off of 3 straight losses to handle Queens, Queens on the road as well. 93-79 in that game, though. And it shows that there's just a kind of a missed amount of potential here. I'm on North Florida with the side is concerned here. They played at North Florida. North Florida won 84-79. North Florida was the home dog at a 3. I know it's essentially a coin flip here, but look at this number. Still sitting at 3. I guess 3.5, so now I see a 4. So, that being said, though, generally speaking, there's 2 to 3 points that gets factored in for moving on to the other court of this thing. And they really haven't made that adjustment. And I think it's because we see that North Florida is the team that's more capable of going off in this game. Kennesaw State, to me, again, I love to see how teams finish and kind of project that to how they start. They fell off there at the end of that last game, and things got a little cold for them. So I'm going to take the 4 with this North Florida team here. I expect them to be able to get the job done on the money line here. I mean, it's a nice little plus 148. Actually, there's plus 154s out there, but I'm more comfortable with the 4 in my back pocket here. It's a short card tonight and a monster card tomorrow. So give me the plus 4. I love your total. I love the 4. There's a little extra bonus action for 7 o'clock. And then let's put the bow on college basketball and get ourselves on to some virtual horse racing here. I know everyone's excited about it. New Mexico and San Diego State's the last game on the card here. And this should be a barn burner. This is probably the best game on the card today here. We've got this New Mexico game opens at 5.5. They've moved to 6s and 6.5s now, 50-50 as far as the bets, but 37% of the cash on the New Mexico side of things. The bigger money coming in on San Diego State, Gokester. The total kind of situation again where it's not really seeing much movement, 152.5, sitting at 152.5, 55% of the bets and 63% of the cash on the under. Any thoughts from you on this game?
I stayed off it on this game. New Mexico, the numbers I was looking at, like this is a good team. 30th, I think it was both offense and defense, and then they like to move the ball as well. So, and then on the other side here, 220 ranked. I'm seeing San Diego State, 10th ranked defense, 50th offense. I had nothing on this game. I just think that what's the number here? I think it was what was it? It was what was the number here? Yeah, -6 on San Diego. Yeah. I don't mind that. Would you see this being like a New Mexico team total under kind of with that too, Mike? Kind of like, because I know New Mexico love to score. So if they're not going to win this game, San Diego State would have to, slow down what they like to do, right?
Yeah, again, you got New Mexico's in one of those teams that's kind of win one, lose one. They like, home court, much more dominant, in my opinion. They did just come off a big win against Nevada, but the games that they lose, they're definitely scoring, in the mid 70s out there. So I guess the question becomes, are they going to go out there and ball? And what I kind of like about this one, when you look at, I love to correlate the unders and the favorites there, lower scoring spot there. The defense is going to get the job done. And it's that home defense here. The total for this New Mexico team is set to 73.5. And it's juiced to the under. So just kind of what we was talking about there. When New Mexico wins, they're putting it into the 80s. And when they lose, they're dropping into the mid 70s or lower. So, yeah, I love that thought about the team total under. I looked at this one here. Each of San Diego State's last 10 games have produced a lower total. So their defense is predominant and prevailing when it comes to being at home. Don't mind anybody looking at that under. And San Diego's got a tremendous home court advantage. They've won 18 in a row. When you look at this thing, though, there's a couple of conferences, the ASUN, the Mountain Valley, the Mountain West, and the CAA. The home favorite has a tremendous advantage when they go out there and play against the competition. Add to it, it's Friday night. The barn's going to be rocking. No one's got shit to do tomorrow to get up and go to this game and be ready to rock here. 36-12 in those spots. They're covering the spread by 5.5 points. And the average score we're seeing is 81-69. So there's your lower spot as far as New Mexico's team total going under that 73.5. There's the double-digit comfortable win being at home. And there's a spot where this game falls into that under category as well. So it kind of lights up and checks all the boxes for me. I jumped it on San Diego State. I just think better team here, stronger opportunity. Give me that home court advantage. And New Mexico with this Richard Pitino's crap isn't the same team that they were to start the season off. This isn't non-con. These games matter. And I think this home court's going to prevail for these guys with this spot and these boys. So I'm on the side. San Diego State -6.
You convinced me, Mike. Jerry is San Diego State -6. Let's go. Because those home numbers, you're 100% right. Looking at them at home, they beat up on Colorado State, Utah State, some good teams in Nevada. So I'm kind of with you on this play. I like it.
Well, let's roll, guys, here. That's going to do it for college basketball. Let's bring on the old ponies here. Let's go with this next one. Nunya, I see Nunya found it. Nunya's got the new member out there. And before we get rolling, I want to shout out everybody that's been contributing here. Fernando Mendoza gifts a Pub Sports membership. We love that, Fernando Mendoza. We appreciate you coming in here to hang out amongst everything else, but to gift a membership is fantastic. And of course, the Sit Down with Jeff Nadeau gifting a membership, guys. Be sure to catch his show on Pub Sports Radio every Saturday morning. The guy goes out there and tackles the college basketball landscape all on his own. Monster cards. He's not afraid to turn that plane right into the storm and find a way to get you guys cash. So tune into our guy, Jeff Nadeau, on Saturdays with Pub Sports Radio. Appreciate all you guys rocking with us. The moment is here. Let's bring him on the screen and let's see if we can figure this thing out, guys. We're going to have a little bit of fun. This is the gold membership level that we talked about here, you guys. You get on board here, jump on in. We're going to go for a 2-minute horse race. Let's make sure that we can get this one done right, boys and girls. We got the first time on last call. We're going to load them up. And can we get that bigger? Can we get a fuller screen with this thing?
It's a quick one, guys. Only 2 minutes. So don't leave your seat. This is a quick one.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's go here. We'll call it live. Let's have a little fun. Coach, you want to call or you want me to call?
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. They're rolling. Here's your shot to get $50 rocking and rolling on Pub Sports Radio. Drew D tried to come out with that early speed, but of course the patch early is not the way to go in this one. Much like last call with late betting being great betting, you want your horse to fire at the end, not at the beginning. Let's see what happens here. A lot of mass though. A lot of crowd gaggled up here in the middle of this thing here. Jimmy the Bag, I see his name predominantly there in capital. I stopped the flu, but his horse is firing here. Is he firing? Big pile up here with 1:25 to go now in this race. Rocking here as we get rolling. We've got it going here. And Jimmy the Bag is pulled out front. There comes Jose Bouquet. Jose Bouquet and Jimmy the Bag battling much like
Ruiz moving.
Every Tuesday through Friday, Jose and Jimmy battling it down. Why wouldn't they be battling on the court here on the track? Let's see what's rolling. There I am. I see T, I see me, I see Fat Wally, and here comes Ricky Bobby trying to make a move. We're at the halfway point through the race.
Keep an eye on the back horses. Keep an eye on the ones at the back, guys.
Watch the back of the pack. That's where they kick and fire. You don't want to fire early. Craig Wilkinson's trying to make a move. This is the Friday $50 extravaganza, you guys. Let's go. Just one of the many perks of being a gold member of Pub Sports Radio. Let's roll. We got 35 seconds to roll in this race here. We're down to the final quarter, the final turn, if you will, as they start kicking down the stretch.
Director's got a chance. I keep seeing Director. Here we go.
I see Nunya, the new member.
Oh, Nunya's making a move out there.
Trying to go pay for the membership right off the hop. But you can't fire too early. You can't fire
Who's coming in the inside there? Coker.
And there's C-Mac.
Coker, Connor
made a move and then fell back. Here's the story, Coker.
K. Wolf, Coker. Oh, who's this? Craig.
Crystal Craig at the final wire. And Chris Bogan gets the job done, baby.
Bogan. Good run, Bogan.
Good on you, Chris Bogan. Congratulations, catching yourself $50 out there. And happy Friday to you, Chris. Appreciate it, guys. Just a little bit of the fun we like to have to give some cash away here, courtesy of our guy, Jeff Slaughter. So, Chris, if you're here, you got to go in there and email at pubsportsradio@gmail.com and let him know that you won the horse race today, Friday, from last call. And they'll get you your $50, my guy. So congratulations. Congrats. The hats are off to you. And Gokster, always fun to have you in on a Friday, my guy. Appreciate you being back in the saddle, so to speak, with these horse races here coming off the finish. What's going on with you, man? Let's give a glimpse of what's going on in the world of Gokster 99 and tell us what you think about this golf tournament here as we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I got it on right now. Actually, beside me, Cantley is 4 up on the field there, and Tiger Woods, guys, he was withdrew, and he was, I don't know if he's in an ambulance going to the hospital or something, but wasn't good. Tiger's out of the tournament, but you got Cantley up by 4. Cam Young, Connors. I got a couple guys that are still in the mix here, so that's what I'll be doing this weekend. Actually, also going to the simulator too. So your boy Gokster loves to golf. Congrats again, though, to Bogan, Chris Bogan. Nice job there on the win there. What else we got tomorrow? Hockey, full slate of hockey. I'll try to tweet out some hockey plays there. And good game tonight. We got the Marlies and the Belleville Senators here in the AHL. So hockey and golf, baby. You know who it is. Looking forward to this basketball. I'll be watching college basketball tonight, guys. And I tweeted out the action there at Gokster99. And we'll see you guys again on Thursday with hopefully Mr. Jimmy the Bag. Send your best to Jimmy the Bag, guys. Hopefully he feels better soon. If it wasn't for Jimmy, we wouldn't be where we are. So shout out to Jim.
Much love. Appreciate you, Gokster, coming in and rocking with us. Good luck at the simulator. Make sure you stretch. And let's bring on our next guest. Speaking of stretching, he's going to stretch out the old bankroll on Saturday with a little MMA action here. Some UFC coming at you guys here. We love to close it out with our MMA expert. Without further ado, here he is.
Hey, thanks for having me on again. I appreciate it.
Let's go. We're firing here. You couldn't win last week for the Pub Sports contest because, well, I did. And that's the way it's going to have to be sometimes. But that's okay because there's a lot of cash to be made. I know you guys are doing breakdowns on the regular and getting it done. So maybe I got our guy T working like crazy today. But if you could drop the promo out there as well, guys. Speaking of Pub Sports and the giveaways, every Saturday when there's UFC professional MMA combat taking place, you have the opportunity to go in free to register and enter your picks to go out and get your shot at $100. I'll tell you what, super fast turnaround. Monday morning, bright and early in the account. I was excited about that. And you get a chance to go out there and fight and compete, not just against everybody that's in the personality world of Pub Sports Radio, but all the members and the guests that sign in and register as well. So again, free to enter every Saturday that there is UFC. Jeff got in there and won the contest 2 out of 3 weeks, and he's trying to get the sea legs back with the new year, but he's been giving us winners on the show. So let's talk about this.
Before we jump into that, let me just recap. There was the team to score first last week in the Super Bowl. Team to score first does not win the game was plus 135. Cash that puppy.
Cash it. That might have been the same day I talked about the game going to overtime, which we cashed as well. So we got some props. We got some Super Bowl props. It was a lot of fun. That was a great call out of you. Team to score first does not win the game, and that was a great call.
I think the other one I had was Kelsey 2+ touchdowns, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Kelsey was too busy fighting with Andy Reid on the sidelines to go out there and
Yeah,
get the
right.
job done.
That was a good game, though. Slow start, but good game.
Slow start, good game. Let's jump into this UFC card here. We've got this card here, UFC 298. We got Volkanovski, Topuria. They're all from Tripolia. And here we go with this opening up here. You're looking at, what is this now? This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth fight in here. You've got Josh Quinlan, the number 94 welterweight, 6-1 out there, fighting Danny Barlow, undefeated regional potential punching bag, earning his shot here as the number 1, fighting out of Tennessee. Let's hear what you have to say here. As far as Tapology numbers are concerned, 79.9% of the bets like Barlow in the knockout, the decision 19%, and a small minority on Quinlan. 45% of the small minority likes him to knock him out, and the other half likes him to win by decision. Tell us what you think about this fight.
You know, I'm on Danny by Danny Barlow by KO. You know, jump to a plus 130, taking it by KO. I don't like the fighters coming off the Contender Series for the first time. I feel like I say that about every week, and Dana White just gave out so many damn contracts that I feel like every week there's been several Contender Series winners coming out, or you know, getting the contract, coming out there to fight. They're fighting tougher competition. He's coming off the Contender Series with a first round KO. What stood out to me in this one, though, is he's got the 8-inch reach advantage over Quinlan. The other thing was Quinlan took this fight on short notice. So I forget who Barlow was supposed to fight initially, but Quinlan, you know, he jumped into the UFC. He went 1-1, and then actually dropped back to the LFA. He went 3-0. Now he's moving back up, so out to the UFC, and he's fighting Barlow, who likes to throw some heavy hands. So I'm on Barlow by KO at plus 130.
Nice. I found it at plus 150 on FanDuel for you. So odd shop appropriately, get a little bit more money on that thing there. And you got the boys out there. Dylan Med says MMA Jeff. Let's go. Barney's booing. I think he's booing the horse race. Barney's always booing, but I think in this case he's booing the horse race. Ice Viking says, let's go. Volk. Nunya says, we ready for the UFC. Love to see you guys in here hanging out with us, talking some UFC here. Fernando Mendoza, Volk's about to take that boy back to Spain. Nunya says, Ian, glad I shut off my laptop and watched on my phone. Would have done old girl in. And there it is. Our guy T put it out there for you guys in the chat. The link to the website, again, free to enter, your shot to pick up $100. So take some of the feedback here. You don't have to know anything about it. Just go in there and take a free play at it. Why not take a shot to see what you can do? Nunya says, yeah, Volk gonna punish him. May go longer than expected, though. I could see Volk trying to gas him just so he can embarrass him. I don't know about an early finish. Ice Viking says, disappointed. I didn't tell the overtime play, but the Super Bowl was still good to the bankroll. Mine as well, Ice Viking. Rick J says, I remember Mike saying OT. And Troy Torrance in the house there. Troy Torrance likes Quinlan KO in the first round. He's dog hunting on this one. Dylan Med says, bet him to get a KO with his left hand. And North Ender says, left hand of God. Nunya says, nah, Quinlan getting his ass whooped. We got some great content from you guys here. Subhuman Gotcha says, Contender Series fade is real. Can't trust Barlow. Think the Quinlan late sub props are worth a sprinkle just because the numbers are crazy. And Barney says, nah, that was just for Jeff's face. Oh, he was just booing Jeff's face.
Yeah, it's just me. It's Barney.
Let's roll on here. We got this next fight on the card. We've got 3 fights for you guys from Jeff and a parlay to get this night finished off and put a bow on our show. Next fight that he's rolling on to here. Let's take a peek. Let's dig in here. We've got a real tongue twister with Merab Dwelishvili versus Henry Cejudo, the town favorite there. Everybody likes Henry. Merab at 16-4, the number 2 bantamweight in the world. Henry Cejudo 16-3. Coming off a loss, though. Hasn't lost in a minute, but Almaine Sterling at 22-3 puts him in a split decision and gets the job done. Does the little guy in Cejudo at 5'4" have enough to take down Merab the Machine, Jeff? Tell us what you think.
Yeah, you know, I like those fighters out of Georgia. Merab is out of Georgia. He's ranked number 2. He's on his way to he's taking this fight to kind of pass the time until he gets the shot at the belt. Henry's 37 years old. I think he's on his way out. Unfortunately, I like Henry personally, but I enjoyed watching his fights. But I see, you know, Merab's a jiu-jitsu fighter. He's got a nine fight win streak at this point. I see this one going up against the cage. Merab, 75% of his fights, or 15 out of his 20 fights have gone in. 75% have gone gone by decision. He just seems to with his jiu-jitsu style, I think he out-wrestles his opponents. I see this one going up against the cage, dropping to the ground, which ultimately, Vegas has the over 2.5 at -310. So the number correlates to the fight's going to probably go over. Merab's at a -250. That ended, like I said, with the 75% decision, led me to Merab -135 by decision.
Yeah, 80% of Tapology's universe likes Merab to get the job done, and 95.7% on that decision as well. So you're in good company there. Gets that juice down a little bit to make a nice little modest -135 opportunity. And let's see how you're going to close the card out here from a straight play perspective. And then you can take us through your parlay. We've got Robert Whitaker, 24-7, fighting for his Royal Majesty and Great Britain here. On the other side of things, we've got Paulo Costa fighting out of Brazil at 14-2, the co-main event of the evening. And we know Robert Whitaker coming off a loss. Prior to that, though, Paulo Costa had himself double losses, takes a judge's decision to get back in the winning streak here. What do you think about this fight?
I'm on Whitaker by decision here. He's 15-5 in the UFC. He's got 9 KOs, 5 subs, 10 decision wins. He lost 2 of the last 3. However, if you look at who he lost to the champ DDP, and he also lost to Izzy, the runner-up. So those 2 of the 3 last losses are kind of tough. He fought some straight up competition there. He's a more experienced fighter. Paulo Acosta, I enjoyed watching him. I think he's kind of, I think he's a little overrated. He also lost to Izzy. 11 of his wins have been by KO. So he's got that power. He's a fighter. He's a dog. He's certainly not going to get submitted or KO'd, I don't believe. So I think Whitaker is a better fighter. I think he's on more of a rising track than Costa, which, again, I don't think we're going to see Costa get knocked out here. So I'm on Whitaker. I think he is going to win this fight, and I do like the decision.
Fucking he's telling me that he's fighting out of Australia, not Great Britain. I said the flag looked the same to me. That's my bad. I should have clicked on it to see, but I like it. Whitaker by decision, a nice little. It's actually I got a +120 over there at FanDuel. So again, some better odds, guys. That's the benefit. You got to find a book, boys and girls, back home when you're betting on these things. Make sure you get as much juice as you can out of these things. We'll call it +120 is what we found on FanDuel. And take us through your parlay here to close this thing out. What's going on with this you got a little 3-lagger for us here to close out shop in the UFC.
Yeah, I took I like to throw a couple of parlays together, but I threw this one together. I think Miranda's gonna win this one, and I didn't trust it at the minus. I think it was -190 or 195 I got, so I didn't want to play that one straight up. I think that Woodburn fight, I think there's going to be a KO in that one. So I do think that's going to be under 2.5. And then, as I said, Whitaker by decision. I do like that play. So threw them all together. I think it ended up as +279 or something like that.
I got a 287 on FanDuel, +287.
There you go. But my book's not the greatest. It's a Costa Rica book. So definitely shop those lines around. But you can certainly find better line. But, yep. 3-teamer.
Let's go. We got 3 plays and a 3-teamer. Jeff, tell them what you got coming up for the weekend, where they can find you, and let's get up out of here.
You can follow me X JM Hockey 19, and I believe we're going to rock a show again tomorrow during the fights. I believe we'll have to tweet that link out because we got to get that set up, I guess. But that's about all that's going on at this point. Doing a fight breakdown at some point later tonight, I believe. I can shoot that link out as well if anyone's interested in hearing my thoughts on the full card. That should be tonight at 9:00 Eastern. Again, X JM Hockey 19.
Follow my guy JM Hockey 19 over there on X. Anytime he's doing some things with the UFC, you can see his card. He's there to post it and share with you guys. Follow him. Follow his live content when he does live fighting as well, live betting. Lots of fun to get involved with, Jeff. Appreciate you coming by here tonight, and good luck with your bets.
Thanks for having me. Let me do. Somebody in the chat said the horse race was a little laggy, and it was on my end, anyways. So just as a heads up, but congratulations to the winner. I forget, was it Brian? Something. Congrats.
Yeah, make sure we'll get it tweaked up for next time, you guys. We're first on it with last call. Normally the Jimmy the Bag and Jose get it done, but my guy T stepped in and said we're gonna race some ponies tonight. So shout out to all you guys that rock with us. Appreciate you guys becoming new members. Jay Peasy, Cameron Sign It there, Dylan Med, Voodoo Ranger up in the house. Appreciate all you guys dropping. Von Polo's there hanging out with us, of course. Dunya getting it done. North Ender. Guys, every Monday to Friday, last call, 6 p.m. Eastern, we break down the card, where we got the card. And if you want to do a little sprinkle, how can you not go to Tyrese Halliburton to be the three-point champion tomorrow in the NBA All-Star break? There's a little bonus play for everybody, guys. Have yourselves a great night. Good luck with your bets and have a glorious weekend. Get that cash, and we'll see you guys next week. Appreciate T on the ones and twos, Jeff, and our guy Ghoster coming in today. And congrats to the horse winner again. We'll see you guys next week. Stay pumping, baby.